All right, team Down Under Elite Qualifier workouts are here, and this is just a quick video to go through a couple of key considerations just based off first thoughts on the workouts. First of all, workout order. These workouts are pretty high impact on the body, pretty high eccentric, like a lot of reps, a lot of heavy stuff. So they're going to take their toll, and in order to do them effectively, recover effectively, I'm recommending making them the main focus, not trying to get too much training around them. If you really want to give them a good go, just focus on these qualifier workouts this week. Um, the order I would recommend for most people is going to be the deadlift workout first, followed by the next day doing the thruster workout, and then probably taking a day's rest before hitting the GHD workout. The deadlift one's kind of shorter time domain. You will feel it a little bit in the posterior chain, obviously recovering from the deadlift, but I think in terms of the sequence, there's more interference that's going to come out of the thruster workout into the GHD workout, or if you're doing the GHD before the other workouts. So it's kind of the best of a bad bunch in terms of the order. So deadlift one first, and then I think because of the nature of the GHD workout being such a high volume of all three of the movements, there's going to be a fair bit of muscle soreness and loss of power in those areas. So it's kind of a one and done kind of situation with that one. It's also the kind of one that you're not going to change strategy too much if you were to redo anyway. So the GHD is the one that I'm looking at thinking that's one effort. Whereas the other two workouts, if you really want to maximize your chances, you're probably looking across the course of the week to repeat at least one of them, and setting yourself up to be able to do that. So that's what I'm recommending. Deadlift first, thrusters next day, day recovery between, then the GHDs, and then look to potentially redo as needed. To go through into detail on the actual workouts themselves, don't have a whole lot of data yet. But first of all, the deadlift workout, I think elite individual scores are going to be under 5 minutes, and elite pairs scores are probably going to be looking to get under 6 minutes on this workout. The row we want to be aiming for probably around that 2.5 minute time frame ish. And the deadlifts, we need to be going fairly aggressive on the deadlifts. Probably looking at like 2 to 4 sets for most people. And that's going to be, obviously trying to keep the rep speed fast, making sure you're getting good lockout, transitioning quickly onto the rower. The rower is going to feel pretty rubbish at the start, and then try and settle into a good rhythm and allow yourself to have a nice aggressive finish at the end. With the thruster workout, I think most people are going to be best to just keep everything in pretty much sets of 10 in that first round. Everyone can do, big sets of thrusters and pull-ups, but I think thinking ahead for later in the workout is going to be important by the time you've accumulated 90 pull-ups and also done a hell of a lot of thrusters. You need to be setting yourself up to be able to move that heavy bar at the end of the workout. So I think a smart breakup for a lot of people is just going to be, tens, for example, on that first set of thrusters. The second set of thrusters, the second round of thrusters, we're probably looking at more like sets of probably 5 for a lot of athletes, but kind of just depending on your strength levels and how you need to feel going into that third bar and the fourth bar. It's hard to give sort of exact numbers. Obviously, it's fairly general advice that we're giving in this video, but I think it's an easy thing to do in this workout to push those sets big early and think you're going to get there early on that last bar, but then have to wait so many, ages between attempts on the last bar. So getting that balance right is going to be important. I think we can expect, the elites, some of the top elite athletes to be getting at least a few minutes on that last bar. And then for the guys looking for pairs, maybe not 3 minutes, but, a minute to 2 minutes on that last bar. So setting yourself up to be able to get a few reps on that. And then thirdly, the GHD workout, like 20 minutes, a lot of GHDs, 20-minute cap, I should say. And, in order to finish that workout, we need a 2-minute pace per round, which is, pretty doable for a lot of athletes who have good strict handstand push-ups that can stay unbroken, which is what's going to be necessary for the elite individual level. For the elite pairs level, the ability level of the strict handstand push-ups in particular will be a big separator. It will spread out the field a little bit more, and we can probably expect a lot of those athletes to be needing to do 2 sets at the start and maybe even some more sets per round on the handstand push-ups later in the workout. So 90 handstand push-ups, strict ones, that's going to catch up at some point in the workout. So thinking ahead for that and making strategic early breaks while keeping your target pace per round is going to be the key to that one. Of course, there's that required capacity ability on the rope climbs and the GHDs. Obviously, there's a fair bit of interference between those two movements as well. Lifting the legs up on the GHDs, on the rope climbs with the GHD fatigue. So managing that, but I think in amongst that, the strict handstand push-ups will be the main separator on that workout. Don't forget one final thing, to weigh your weights on the scales, which is a bit of a pain, but that's necessary for this one. It's part of the rules. So just a reminder for that one as well. And as we have any further updates on these workouts or thoughts or sort of strategy suggestions, we'll put them up in the Facebook group or on Train Heroic. But I think they're the main ones for now. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.